Hey Lupa, and welcome to this 1 week update for little baby girl. I actually don't have her with me right now. She's sleeping in the baby carrier with Michael, but I will film her once she wakes up and put some footage in here of her right now on her 7th day of life outside the womb, I guess you could say. And I thought that I would just do a quick little update. It's probably not going to be very quick because I'm a rambly person, as you might know, but an update on her first week of life. And then I'm also going to film a birth story video, which is gonna go up later. So in that video I'll do more of the details around the labor and birth and everything like that. So yeah, let's get into it. So baby girl, which is what we're calling her right now because I'm thinking of making a name reveal video, she was born on July 12th at 6:08 a.m. and she was 52 centimeters long, and she weighed, let's see, I always mix all the numbers up, 3,360 grams is what she weighed. And she hasn't, I mean, she lost weight at the beginning, which is what all babies do. She hasn't reached her birth weight yet. I'm not sure how quickly babies do that actually, but she is kind of gaining weight slowly but surely. So we're not worried about her, but she's just, we need to get some more food into her kind of, which is a bit tricky. We ended up at the NICU with her because initially, what could it have been, like 3 or 4 hours, about 4 hours after she was born, she was pretty blue. So they took her to the doctor to see why she was so blue in her skin. And they did a bunch of tests, and they basically... That's my middle child, who apparently isn't sleeping yet. I thought that he was asleep, but I think Michael has it under control up there. So on the tests, they could tell that her red blood cell count was very high, which is what they think is the reason she was blue. But they also found that her blood sugar levels were pretty low. So pretty much right away, they started giving her formula to try and get her blood sugar levels up. She needed food, basically. And my milk hadn't come in, so I guess I think that was pretty much necessary. We couldn't have done anything different in that case. And we thought that we were going to be sent home, but then they wanted to keep her just to kind of do some more tests and make sure that the high red blood cell count was the actual reason she had turned blue, because that can also be associated with heart conditions and stuff. So we needed to stay at the NICU. Unfortunately, they didn't have any open rooms or any free unoccupied rooms at the NICU at the hospital where we gave birth. So we had to take an ambulance, not emergency, but just as an escort to another hospital where they did have a room for us at the NICU there. So we were admitted, and they did more tests. They did EKG, that's what it's called in Swedish. I'm not sure if that's what it's called in English, but I'll look it up, and if it's called something else, I'll just put it down here, just to make sure that her heart was healthy. And then we were gonna be sent home. They even told us that we were gonna be sent home, but they just wanted to make sure that her yellowness, her jaundice levels were not going up. So they just did that test just in case, and realized that number had gone too high. So we had to stay another night to get some light treatments. So for a night and maybe half a day, she was under a blue light to kind of, help against the jaundice. That's basically what it does. And her level started going down, and so we were sent home. So we have now been home. We were at the NICU for about 3 days, I guess, 2.5. So we've been home for about 4 days now, and it's kind of crazy. Even though we've just been home for this short amount of time, I feel like we already have kind of a routine down, even though I know that routine is going to change little by little, just because she's growing and everything changes when you have a baby. The second you think that you have something down, something changes. But yeah, I kind of feel like we have a little routine down. Michael sleeps upstairs with the boys, and kind of keeps them upstairs in the mornings, and then they come downstairs and we have breakfast, all of us together. Baby girl and I sleep here, actually, in this rocking chair. That's what we've been doing. We're sleeping here. And then we just go about our day. We're basically just staying at home because we don't want to subject the baby to any germs and stuff for no reason. So we're mostly at home. We take little walks. We focus a lot on feeding and breastfeeding and pumping. That's a lot of my day right now. And then in the evening we take our evening walk, and then Michael puts the boys to bed, and I usually stay down here with the baby, and Michael kind of comes downstairs and takes her for a bit. Right now he's upstairs with her, like I said, in the baby carrier, and then eventually he goes to bed upstairs. And like I said, baby girl and I stay down here, and for the nights our routine is kind of just feeding her every 3 hours or 4-ish hours, is what the nurse that I saw yesterday, I'm gonna talk about that in a second, she said that during the night maybe we can wait like 4 hours so we get a longer stretch of sleep. So that's what I did last night, and that was nice. But she's definitely more awake and yeah, just a bit more fussy during the night, which is pretty common for babies. So that's just the way it is. I'm not getting enough sleep right now, or I'm not getting a lot of sleep. I'm getting enough, but that's just part of the package when you have a baby, so no surprises there. So yeah, yesterday we had a nurse come here to visit. They do that with all newborns. When they're about a week old, a nurse from the like child care facility comes to see you and see the baby and just kind of give you information on SIDS and shaken baby syndrome and vaccinations, and just they basically give you info. They weigh the baby, and you get the chance to ask questions. We mostly talked about nursing because that's an issue of ours, and she kind of looked when I was trying to nurse and gave me some pointers, and she also checked the baby girl's tongue because we thought maybe she's tongue-tied or something. Maybe that could be one of the reasons we're having issues with nursing, but she said, oh no, it looks good. And I've actually heard that those nurses at the child care facilities don't always know what they're talking about when it comes to tongue ties, and that people have been babies have been misdiagnosed. But I got a very good feeling about her, and apparently she's worked at the NICU for 10 years before she started working where she is now, and that gave me even more like faith in her, because I feel like she's probably seen a lot working at the NICU. So that was kind of calming to hear that she doesn't have a tongue tie. And if you can hear noises in the background, that's my dog. She's right there. She's dreaming, so she's making little whiny noises in her sleep. What else? Oh yeah, she looked at the little red dots that baby girl has kind of mostly on her face, and as I thought, she said that those are just like hormonal little spots that they can get, and they're gonna go away on their own, so that's good. She also saw that the baby has a umbilical hernia, which apparently also goes away on its own. It's fine. It's nothing we need to care about or be worried about, so that's good. I hadn't really noticed it. Michael mentioned it yesterday or the day before, I think, and so it was just reassuring to hear that that's nothing to worry about. So that's the visit with the nurse. I don't think I had anything else to talk about that. Yeah, oh, well, like I said, she weighed baby girl, and she is gaining weight, but very slowly. So we're gonna go back, or we're gonna go to the childcare facility on Monday or Tuesday and get her weighed again, just to make sure that she's not losing weight, or that she's not like staying at the same weight, because obviously she needs to gain. So yeah, that's what we're doing, and kind of in connection to that is nursing and feeding. We're still feeding her formula because she isn't latching. For the first few days, she did latch a few times, but most of the time she was sleeping and I couldn't get her awake enough to actually try and breastfeed. And so formula was kind of what we had to do. And then for the past few days, she's latched once a day. And I put her to the breast every time I feed her, so that's a lot of times every day. But she doesn't seem to have a in between. She's either super frustrated and just screams, and she can lie there for 10 minutes just screaming, not trying to latch or do anything. She's kind of just like waving her head around and screaming her head off. Or the other is that she is pretty much content because she's already had enough formula that she kind of just lays there and does nothing. And so getting her to even try to latch is the issue. When I put her to the breast, she usually tries to latch once or twice and doesn't get a good grip, and then she starts screaming. So that's what we are most concerned about right now, because I really want to nurse, and I really want to exclusively nurse. But the formula obviously makes her not need it as much. And at the same time, if I don't give her formula, she just screams and doesn't get a latch anyway. So it's a balance. We need to make sure that she keeps gaining weight, but we also need to find some way for her to actually latch and get food from me. And we're not actually giving her as much formula now as we did a few days ago, because my milk has come in. So I pump every 3 hours. Like I said, I pump every time that I or Michael have fed her, and then we just we take that milk obviously and feed her in the bottle or in the cup, and then we just add formula to kind of get the amount that we need. Right now we're giving her about 50 milliliters of breast milk and formula. So sometimes we have like half and half, and sometimes it's mostly formula, sometimes it's mostly milk. It depends on how much I get from the pump. She's just a delight. Other than the breastfeeding screaming, I don't think she screams a lot at all so far. Our first kid had colic for 6 months, so we're always kind of nervous and cautious that that's gonna creep up on us all of a sudden. And like I said at the beginning, everything changes constantly with the baby, so who knows. But for now, she's pretty content. She spends a lot of time in the baby carrier, and that's also how I sleep. That's why I sleep with her in the or how I sleep with her in the rocking chair. I have her in the baby carrier, and I make sure that like there's no fabric near to her face or anything, and that way I can get a few hours of sleep at night. Because she is just like our other kids. She does not want to be put down. She can sometimes be in the mamaroo during the day for like 10 to 15 minutes so that we can eat breakfast and stuff. That usually works. But at night she just wants to be with me. She doesn't want to be put down anywhere, which is kind of what I'm used to, because my other kids have been the same way. I don't know how people actually like get their newborns to sleep on their own. I don't understand it, and I know that that's the recommendation when it comes to SIDS and stuff, but we would just have screaming babies all night long. Hopefully I have put in some cute footage of baby girl in this video throughout the video. That's my plan anyway. And yeah, we've had a good first week, but we're very happy that we're away from the NICU and that we can just start getting our routine at home and everything. And I also wanted to ask you, my viewers, how you would like these updates to go, because with Theo I very randomly made update videos, but this time around I kind of want to have a schedule. So would you like to see updates like every week? Maybe that's a bit too often. Every month? Or would you see like to see like 3 months, 6 months, 12 months maybe, or whatever? Yeah, let me know in the comments below if comments are not disabled. If they are disabled, feel free to go to my Instagram. It's gonna be right here. I can't remember. Somewhere down there. And send me a message, or just comment on my last photo. my last photo on Instagram. Can you tell that I'm a bit loopy? It's evening time and I haven't slept much in a week, as you know. So yeah, sorry for being a bit loopy. Please like the video if you liked it and subscribe if you want to see more of our bi-weekly family videos, and we will see you on Sunday or maybe earlier. And thank you for watching today. Hej då!